Gays in Space. Oh my God, like I had so much fun this past weekend. I really, guys, I cannot wait to tell you what I did there, how much fun I had. Oh my God, like you guys really need to go to the next one. Hey everybody, it's your girl Marissa-Anne, and as promised, I am going to do an in-depth review of the 2024 Gays in Space Diversity and Inclusion Convention. And as you can see, I'm wearing my first contact crew shirt um, from Gays in Space. And basically, like the first contact crew, that's for people who like ordered their tickets within a certain time period. And if you did, you got like I guess the first two rows during panels or during different discussions. As long you paid the same amount of money like everybody else did, but if you just order within a time period, you were able to sit in those first two rows, which sadly I didn't utilize because I didn't really go to any panels that day during the time. I think I went to like one, two, I think about two panels I went to. So other than that, I'm going to tell you guys about, my time at Gays in Space. So we're going to start Thursday, day zero. Um, Went to the airport, had an airport delay through the airline, and I had a feeling a delay was going to come just because of several flights were being delayed, mainly from the one that I was at, the airline that I used. Um, but eventually we got there. I ended up going from the airport, took a train to downtown Philly, and I was planning on taking the bus to my hotel, which is I stayed at Sonder at 1600, um, but wasn't able to take a bus because it was going to be about a 45-50 minute wait for it. So I decided to just take the 15-minute walk. And it was cold, guys, out there. And mind you, I forgot my coat at home. I mean, I could have went back and got the coat, but who wants to do that? That's just too much stress, even more money I got to spend. But like I said, I walked there and I went to my hotel, Sonder at 1600, which is actually just a 5-minute walk from the Sheraton where the convention was held at. Um, and when I was there, I also noticed that there were other people attending the convention that also stayed there. And you guys, if you're not able to stay at the hotel um, next year, if they still have it at the Sheraton Philadelphia Downtown Hotel next year, if you're not able to, you know, stay there, you can't get a place, by all means, go to the Sonder at 1600 because it's literally your own apartment complex. I had a studio apartment that I stayed in, and they have, like I said, they have studio apartments, they have one bedrooms, they have two bedrooms, and I'm telling you, like, it's worth the stay. So, like, when I walk in, I notice that I have my own washer and dryer, and it's not coin operated, it's free for me to use, and they also provided me with laundry detergent. And then I have a full, huge bathroom, and I took pictures as well, so I'll post those pictures um, on my Instagram page and Twitter and Bluesky and Threads. And what else do I have? I believe that's it. I will post all those pictures. And I also have a huge walk-in closet, nice, beautiful looking bed. I have a full kitchen, not a kitchenette, a full kitchen with a full size refrigerator and freezer and a dishwasher. And they provided me with dishwashing detergent for the dishwasher and dishwashing liquid, all the utensils that I need for cooking and plates and cups and all that other stuff. And I also have my own little dining table that as well. I could actually fit two or three more people in that room with me if I wanted, because that's how big it was. So again, like if you're not able to stay at the Sheraton downtown Philadelphia hotel where they had it this year, and if they decide to have it there again next year, by all means, go to the Sheraton. It's only a 5-minute walk, and I guarantee you'll probably get a room as well. So I went to my hotel and I uh, got ready, and I went to what they call the neighborhood area of Philadelphia, and I went to a bar called Frankie Bradley's, and that is where GIS had their VIP reception. So I went in, I went to the VIP reception, walked in, sat at a booth. Throughout my whole entire time there, I was watching like the tail end of Star Trek First Contact, and then I also watched all of Star Trek Nemesis. But while I was doing that, I went into the bar area, got something to eat. I met a woman there by the name of Bree, and we were just sitting there, just talking about life, talking about just stuff like you would, just talking about stuff. And she was a very lovely person to meet, really nice. I also met several members of the Roddenberries band. I don't know, and one of the members of the Roddenberries band, I don't know his name, but I know he has a beard and he wore glasses, and I think he plays the guitar. But he bought me a drink and a I'm not gonna try to say because I don't even Pinot Noir. So, and I really appreciated the drink that I got. Thank you very much for that, sir. And then I met other members of the Roddenberries band. The only name I remember is their drummer, Paul. And then I remember there was another guy that I met who had this silver gray hair, really long. I was talking to him. He was cracking me up. He just told me like how they were practicing for for their concert, and and depending on who they were, and also how they were practicing with the guests. He was just telling me some stories, and like I said, it was hilarious speaking with him, and it was so much fun just talking to all of them in general. Like it was just fun. I really just can't describe it. But I went back home. Well, okay, when I say home, I mean my hotel. I went back there and I ended up packing up the rest of my buttons. And if you don't remember what the buttons look like, I will show you right now. So, if you're at Gaaays In Spaaace, you may or may not have gotten a button from me. And these are what the buttons look like. So, you would have gotten a bag with 2 buttons in it. The first one with the inclusive pride flag shaped in a heart. And the last one is this one with the doctor with the quote that says, "I'm just as real as any of you." And there were 2 types of these buttons. One was just a regular glossy one, and one was a rainbow one. And the one that I'm holding right now is a rainbow one. You can probably see a little bit of the rainbow when you tilt it underneath the light. I mean, I can see it on the video, so you guys should be able to see it too. So those were the 2 buttons that I was passing out. And I still have like a few packs left over. I probably got like 10 out of the 100 packs that I made. So that was a lot of buttons that I passed out, and I enjoyed passing those buttons out. A lot of people really appreciated them. They loved the quote from the doctor that was on there. So the next day, Friday, which is day 1 of D&ICON, I ended up showing up, I think like an hour or so before the convention actually started, because it said that it started at either 8 or 9 o'clock. Come to find out that that's actually the time, I guess, where registration was supposed to be opening up. But I just sat there and I just hung out and just talked to some people while I was there. And one of the booths that I went to visit is called I'm going to pull out the card right now. The name of this group is called Trans Minors' Rights, and that's the name of the group. And their website is transminorsrights.org. Okay, so that's the name of the group. I went there and I signed a petition, supporting our trans youth, because we have people out there who are really trying to not just take away rights from those that are trans youth, but trans people in general. And I just wanted to make sure I showed my support to them for that. And I also signed a pledge as well. The other booth that I visited was this one booth that had a whole bunch of Star Trek stuff, and I bought I don't know how many Star Trek Voyager collectible cards. Like I bought a whole bunch of them, and then I visited another booth where I bought some more Star Trek Voyager trading cards as well. And then the other booth that I visited, and mind you, this excited my son was really excited. He didn't go with me, but he was really happy that I visited this booth. I visited the United States Air Force and the United States Space Force booth, and got a lot of information, told them about my son, what his plans are as far as becoming a pilot. They gave me all their information, all of their contacts, and they made a nice swag bag for my son. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I was at the convention, I sent my son a text message and a picture of all his swag that he got. And guys, till this day, he has not stopped talking about his swag bag. That whole weekend that I was gone and he was staying with my parents, he would not. My mother said he would not shut up talking about that bag because he was so excited. So, like I said, when I brought it home to him, he was really excited. He took all those business cards, put it in his wallet, so he can be able to contact them, and I can be able to contact them as well. So he was really excited. And what I told you about a while ago is there when I was at the VIP reception, I met a lady by the name of Bree. Well, lo and behold, I didn't realize who Bree was until I saw her in her full uniform. Bree is actually Colonel Bree Fram who is in the United States Space Force. And I believe she's in the no, yeah, she, according to the Gaaays In Spaaace page, it said that she is in the United States Space Force. I'll actually read it to you, what they said on their site. It says, please welcome Colonel Bree Fram, United States Space Force, to the Galactic Diversity and Inclusion Diversity speaker lineup. Bree Fram, her pronouns are she and her, is an author, podcaster, keynote speaker, and active duty colonel and astronautical engineer in the United States Space Force. Bree also co-leads the Department of the Air Force LGBTQ+ initiatives team, dedicated to eliminating barriers to LGBTQ+ military service in the Air and Space Force. Bree came out publicly as transgender on the day the transgender ban in the military was dropped in 2016. She transitioned while in a command position and served through the reimposition of a transgender ban from 2019 to 2021. She is currently one of the highest ranking out transgender officers in the United States military. Bree will be an active participant in both the science and diversity panels, as well as an honoree at the D&ICON at the Friday Night Gala. And they also leave information to her website. So knowing who she actually was just made me even more prouder of meeting someone like her. Again, Colonel Fram, and to all of those that were there and that are currently serving our military and those who are also veterans, I thank you for your service. I thank you for everything that you have done on behalf of our country, protecting us and keeping us safe. And also, not just us, but even when you go out into other countries, you are also doing what you can to keep their civilians safe as well. So, like I said, I thank you and I honor you for your service. After that, I ended up going inside. It was because some of the guests were coming in. I visited Garrett Wong and Robert Duncan McNeil's table for some autographs. Garrett and Robert, who were sitting at two separate tables, but they were next to each other, were Garrett told me it was mainly Garrett telling me the story, but Robert also pitched in too. First of all, they asked me, like, are you a member of the Delta Flyers? I was like, yeah, I started listening to the Delta Flyers back around when Shore Leave came out last year. And they said, well, since you're a big fan, and Garrett's like, well, since you're a big fan of the Doctor, did you hear about what happened? I'm like, what? So he described about the bike incident, and I'm not going to go into it. he told me about the bike incident, and it was both like a little worrisome but hilarious at the same time to hear that story. Um, but I enjoyed talking to Garrett Wong and Robert Duncan McNeil about uh, whatever it was we were talking about in the beginning. But it's nice just to, talk to two people who are in a show that I really really love and that I grew up watching. Um, like I said, I grew up watching Star Trek Voyager as a kid. And I really loved it. And the main reason why I watched it while I was a kid was because, you know, seeing Kate Mulgrew as a captain and leading that show, that's one reason why I watched it. I also watched it because of Tim Russ, because he played the first Black Vulcan that we've seen on television. And I also watched it because of the actress that played Naomi Wildman. She's a kid. I know she didn't show up till like a couple of seasons later, but those were the reasons why I was watching it a lot as a child. And then as I grew up and I started watching the show again, I watched it because I loved the character of the Doctor. And that's a story in itself. Like I said, if you know who I am and you watch some of my videos, you know that Picardo is my favorite Star Trek actor. After that, I went to get a photo op with Shannon Cochran and Garrett Wong and Robert Duncan McNeil, and those were fun and interesting to do. I also visited Terry Farrell's table and I talked to her about like there's people in my family that I know that love the character of Jadzia Dax, and we just sat there and talked about it and how it relates to them. Later on, and here's the thing about Terry Farrell. Terry Farrell, I think probably her and Penny Johnson Gerald probably. Oh my God, those two like were giving out like the best hugs, like the type of hugs where like they just squeeze you real tight and it just feels good, like somebody really cares about you. So they were giving out like the best warm hugs. I also went to this place for lunch called Rex's Pizza. Now here's what I want you guys to know about my experience with pizza. Where I live at, you can order a pizza slice, couple of pizza slices, and get a pop for like $6-7, something like that. But where I live at, our pizza slices are probably like that big. Okay, and you get like 2 of those, 3 of those. They really aren't that big, so they're about that big. And or you get them cut into like squares instead of triangles. So like I'm used to eating pizzas that size. So I went to Rex's Pizza, and mind you, I wasn't paying attention to what people were actually eating there. I wasn't paying attention to the pizza itself that people were eating there. So my crazy Midwestern self went up there and just ordered 3 slices of pizza and a pop, because in my mindset, those slices are that big. Okay, so like, yeah, I can handle that. So they call my number and I go and get my pizza. Now, they hand me a tray with 3 slices of pizza, and I'm looking at this like how am I supposed to eat all this? Because you guys, when I had the pizza, one slice, in fact, each slice was like double the size of my face. Like, how am I supposed to eat this? Like, I'm not used to that. See, if I went to New York and I ordered a pizza slice, I would have ordered just one, because I knew like in New York, they serve those giant sized pizza slices. I didn't know y'all do that in Philadelphia as well. Like, nobody gave me a warning. Like, nobody gave me a heads up. Like, but then again, at the same time, it's my fault because I wasn't paying attention to what everybody was eating and doing there. But anyway, I ate the one slice that I had, and I took the rest of it back to my hotel. And shout out to Rex's Pizza, because that pizza was really, really good. Afterwards, I went to an away mission with Garrett Wong called Going All In. And in this away mission, um, we learned about how to play craps. And not only how to play craps, but we also learned about the art of gambling. You know, a lot of us think when it comes to gambling, it's just pure luck. Everything is by chance. And from what Garrett Wong was teaching us, he's like, it's not pure luck, not pure chance. There's a lot of strategy involved, excuse me, when you're playing craps or if you're playing any type of game over there at the casino. You really need to understand how the game is played. The one thing that I do appreciate about the game of craps is that if you know how to strategically place your bets, you're guaranteed to win something. You're not going to walk out empty-handed. So if I throw down $200 worth of chips, if I strategically place my bets in different spots, I may lose some over here, I may lose some over there, but I may win some somewhere else. So it's not like I'm going to walk out with no money. I have a greater chance of winning when I play the game of craps. And the way he described it, it almost sounds like craps is kind of like a cooperative type game. And I like deck building games and I love cooperative games. So it sounds like craps may be like my type of game to play. He also talked about like there's a rule that not everybody follows when they're at casinos. You know, he said the rule is, 3 or more gotta go. Basically what that means is if you lose 3 times at playing like one game or lose 3 times and on the slot machines or at a table, he said just leave, because the chances of you actually winning your money back or winning anything, the chances of that will decrease. And he's right. So, that we all hear that rule about like, when it comes to the slot machine, stay at that slot machine and just spend all your betting money there, because if you don't, the moment you get up, somebody else is going to sit there and they're going to win. That doesn't most of the time that doesn't happen. Okay. So if you're at a slot machine and you lose 3 times, just get up and go and move to the next slot machine or go to a different table, or maybe just leave that particular casino and go to another casino to play. He also said, when you go to these casinos, don't walk in there with your debit card or your credit card, because you're going to get the urge to swipe. Walk in there with whatever cash that you plan on spending, that you feel comfortable spending there, and just spend that. And don't. And here's the thing, like, don't get like all caught up in the fact of I gotta keep going because I gotta get this. I want to win this. I want to win that. I want to win that $1 million prize. I want to get that car that they have sitting up there. No, don't get caught up in that. Just go there, have some fun, and follow that one rule: 3 or more gotta go. He also told us about the game of craps. How craps is also based on like the energy of the table. And there's like a couple of I guess some suspicions that suspicious beliefs that people have when it comes to craps. Like first of all, don't walk in there at the craps table with like a negative attitude, because if you do, like, that could affect the game. You just walking in there all negative and pissed off and all that. Don't do that. If you're gonna be like that, leave the table, because you're gonna mess up the energy flow that's going around that entire table. Also, he said, like, when you roll the dice, if you roll the dice and the dice fly off the table, one of the rules is get rid of that dice and get a new set of dice. Another rule that he had was when you're rolling the dice, keep rolling it the exact same way you were rolling it before. Don't change it up. Just keep it the same. So if you were rolling the dice like this, keep rolling it like that. If you're rolling the dice like this, then just roll it like this. Don't change up how you roll the dice. Like I said, just being there at that away mission was, like I said, it was very educational. It was also funny. He told us some stories about his experiences being not working at, but playing at casinos, and like all these away missions that Gaaays In Spaaace have. These away missions are not a meet and greet. These away missions, in my opinion, are master classes. You're there to conversate with people. You're there to learn. You're there to have fun. You're not there to just sit there with them like you would at any meet and greet and just get like an autograph and or a selfie and then maybe ask a question and you go home. I mean, that's not what this is. You're actually learning something. And as you're there, you forget that the person who is running the away mission is this famous actor from this famous show or this famous movie, because whatever starstruck or fanboying or fangirling um, emotion you had just leaves you immediately and just goes out the door, and because you're so immersed into um, this away mission, and because like I said, you're learning something, and like I said, Gaaays In Spaaace, they're all about um, um, teaching you new things, especially about LGBTQIA+. But their mission, um, is to make sure that those who are LGBTQIA+ are represented fairly um, and equally in the aerospace industry, in science, in medicine, in STEM, in all these, and also in the entertainment industry and any other industries you can think of. And when you go to these away missions and you go to these panels, you see that. And like I said, I thank Gaaays In Spaaace for doing that. The next away mission that I went to was singing and song choice with Robert Picardo. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to performing in front of people, I have a lot of anxiety about that. Like, that legit um, bothers me. So there's two reasons why I took the karaoke one. One, because it's Robert Picardo, and two, because I want to get over this anxiety of performing in front of people or talking in front of people. Um, so I did that. I was the first person called up to do karaoke. And here's the thing, you guys, like, I thought like I was gonna be really, really nervous. Turns out I wasn't. I felt very comfortable up there singing, and the song that I sang was "If This Is It" by Huey Lewis and the News. So I felt very comfortable sitting up there singing the song, and everybody else, they sang with me. Robert Picardo complimented my shirt. He said, "Oh my goodness, that is really, really good shirt. I really like it. I have a shirt just like that." And I said, "Really? Because that's why I purchased the shirt, because you had it too." And so yeah, I got extra points on my karaoke for the shirt alone. So like I said, I enjoyed doing karaoke. He did give us all pointers and advice on doing karaoke, how to choose a song. And it was all around a very fun away mission. And again, like I said, when you're there, you forget that you're talking to that famous person, because all of that, like I said, just goes away because you're so busy just enjoying the conversation and the fun and the entertainment that you're getting from it. So again, I recommend that if any of you go to Gaaays In Spaaace, if Garrett Wang is doing Going All In, I recommend that you buy your tickets for that. It's very informative, and you will have fun. Also, if you can get a ticket to karaoke, by all means, go ahead and do the karaoke, because Picardo's tickets sold out real fast. I want to say within like a week of them posting it, like his tickets were sold out. In fact, and if any actor or actress there has an away mission, I promise you, you guys will enjoy whatever away mission you decide to sign up for, because they are, like I said, they're fun and educational. They're informative. It helps advocate, again, the mission that Gaaays In Spaaace was that they're doing. Later on that evening, I also went to the awards gala, and it's called the D&ICON Gala. Um, and these are and I have right here are the list of all the winners, all the recipients for their awards. The first one is the Inclusive Diversity Award of the Year went to Colonel Bree Fram. Intersectionality and Activism Award went to the USS Eisenberg crew. Queer Arts and Culture Award went to Jessica Briggs. Honey, you were bodacious up there. The Community Service Impact Award went to John Billingsley and Benita. I do not know how to pronounce your last name, Benita, and I don't want to butcher it, so I do apologize for that. The Leadership Award of the Year went to Michelle Hurd. Outstanding Series for Representative Equality went to Star Trek Voyager. Ally of the Year Award went to Robert Picardo. The Lifetime Achievement for Makeup went to Michael Westmore. And so those were all the awards and the recipients of them. And I enjoyed being at the award show. They did more than just hand out the awards. We also had some performances done as well by Bonnie Gordon and her backup dancers / singers, which were Terry Farrell, Robert O'Reilly, and Robert Duncan McNeil. So after that, the next day I ended up, which was Saturday, which is day 2 of the con. Very busy day, you know. That was the day that Kate Mulgrew, Admiral Janeway herself, came to the convention. So when I was there, I got my Voyager and Kate Mulgrew photo op. I also visited Tim Russ's table, and just like Robert Duncan McNeil and Garrett Wong, had a fun time speaking with them and why I love the show so much. All 3 guys also told. I was also interested in wanting to know like more of their work, and so they gave me some examples of different shows and movies that I can watch with them. I also visited Penny Johnson-Gerald's table for a selfie, because last year when I was at shore leave, everybody liked the cosplay that I wore, and she did as well. So her handler was running around looking for me. Mind you, that Sunday of shore leave is when they found me, and I was only wearing just the jacket part, but they said Penny loved it so much she wanted to see it. So she saw the jacket, and I made a promise to myself, when I go to Gaaays In Spaaace, I'm going to get a selfie with Penny Johnson-Gerald. So I went to her table, and I did. And again, she loved the cosplay that I wore, and she did exactly what I expected her to do, because I was told last year, surely, that she is the queen of selfies. And what she did last year, she did again this year. She took my phone, and we were just taking selfies for like a couple of minutes at her table. And I really enjoyed that, and I had a whole lot of fun. Afterwards, I went to Robert Picardo's table, and I got a selfie and an autograph with him. I also showed him the tattoo that I got. I mean, the tattoo is upside down, so you guys can't see it. But I showed him the tattoo and why I got it. He also complimented me on me doing a good job at karaoke. I thanked him for it. I also got a photo op with Terry Farrell and Jen Maley, and those photo ops were fun to do as well. Terry just came out of nowhere, and she was like, "Oh, Marissa," just hold her arms out. I guess she was giving me a hug, because we ended up hugging, and then we just automatically looked at the camera and click, they just took the photo. I love that photo. It was so sweet. I also love the photo that I did with Jen Maley. And Jen Maley, the only thing I know about her is that she played one of the ensigns in Star Trek Picard Season 3. And even though that's all I knew about her, I was really, really looking forward to that photo op with her and meeting her. And I know the photo that we took, like, our hands were like this, something like that, you know. And I made half of a heart, she made another half of a heart, and we did that. So if you look on the Gaaays In Spaaace Facebook group, or if you look on the LGBTQ Star Trek Facebook group page, those photos are there. And also, I'll be posting them on my social media pages as well. I also stood in line and got an autograph from Kate Mulgrew as well. Also, when I was standing in line for some photo ops, I ended up seeing Dan Devey, and I said to myself, and this is before I left, I gotta, if I ever bump into Dan Devey, I want to get a photo with him. So I saw him, and I just asked him, like, I know I can't do a photo op with you in that room, but can I please get a photo with you, because you're the president, you're the founder of this organization, and I'm just glad that you and everyone on your team put this all together. And I introduced myself to him as well. And Terry Farrell out of nowhere came up and said, "Oh my goodness, I'll take the pictures for you." So she took our pictures. She was our photographer for that day, and those pictures as well are up there. And then later on, I ended up going to an away mission called Starfleet Fusion Flow, and it was ran by Stephanie Chakowski. And in this particular away mission, we were doing yoga, we were doing Pilates, and we were doing dynamic stretching. You guys, like, if she comes back next year, y'all need to sign up for this this away mission. And it's a perfect away mission, especially when you're at a con, because when you're at a convention, and you're running around lugging around bags and doing constant walking and also constantly standing in one spot, your body tends to get really sore from that. So I'm so glad that she did this. It was very soothing, very helpful. When we were there, I walked in there and I said, my back hurts, my legs hurt, my feet are swelled up, and I was wearing those Chelsea boots. And if you guys know anything about Chelsea boots, they look cute, but they are not supportive for your feet. So like I said, my feet were really swelled up. And we did different forms of exercise while we were there. And like I said, a lot of us who went in, all of us that went in there, when we were done with that, the pain that we were feeling, the somewhat stress, if we had that, a lot of that decreased when we left. And I want to thank Stephanie for doing that away mission. That when I left that away mission, again, all that's my feet, like I said, my ankles were really swelled up. When I put my feet back into them boots, that swelling was gone. I could not feel anything, did not see anything. Like, all that swelling went down. The pain in my sciatic nerve, which was acting up, that majority of that pain just went down. And the pain, like I said, your sciatic nerve tends to, affect your hip, it affects your leg, affects your thigh, because that nerve just, whew, it's an itty bitty nerve, but man, does it really cause a lot of pain. What I learned from her was to listen to your body, because your body will tell you what it is that it wants or what it is that it needs to get through the day. I also learned that you don't always have to do those rigorous type exercises. You don't have to go running every day to help you lose weight, to help you burn calories. Doing something like yoga, like what she was doing, yoga and the Pilates and the dynamic stretching, that alone, can help you burn calories. It can help you feel better. It can help clear your mind. And one of the last things that we did was we did this full body stretch, and like our arms and our legs were stretched all the way out like this, and we were laying down on the floor. And she said, "Okay, you guys, we're just gonna sit here. We're gonna lay here and we're gonna meditate." I don't know how long we were meditating, but guys, the moment we laid down and she told us to close our eyes, I fell asleep. But I had to wake myself up because I was scared that I was going to be snoring. And you guys, like I said, I fell asleep and I started dreaming. And Stephanie was like, "Really? What were you dreaming about?" I was like, "I was dreaming that I was at the mall, in the on the lower level shopping, at one of the kiosks where they sell you, anything like purses or electronics or whatever. I was just running around there just buying stuff. So, and like I said, but again, this uh, this one is also worth your time to go to, and I'm telling you, you will benefit from this. You're gonna when I left, I felt taller, I felt leaner, my mind wasn't racing like it was when I was before then. I just felt so calm, and I was so de-stressed after that, and I just felt all around good. My mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, everything just felt better after doing that. So, like I said, if Stephanie ever comes back, please, do another away mission, and I promise you, I will sign up for it. And I urge all of you to sign up for her away mission as well. Afterwards, I went back to my hotel, got ready because it was time for me to go to the concert. So I ended up going to City Winery in Philadelphia, and the first concert that I saw was a Tim Russ concert. I enjoyed myself at that concert. He sang several different songs. One of the songs that he sung, which I ended up liking, was called "Serve Somebody" by Bob Dylan. Um, and I did record him doing um, performing another song. I don't remember what it was, but I'm not gonna post that video on my social media because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to post that. But afterwards, he did a meet and greet, and we all got to talk to him. He pretty much just told us, about his career in music, and he's been doing this ever since he was like 15, 16 years old. If you do not know, the instrument that he plays is the guitar. He does all types of music. At his concert, he did rock, he did soul, um, he did blues, all types of music he did there. Um, and then later on that night, I went downstairs at the City Winery and I went to the Roddenberry's concert. That concert was wild. Not in a bad way. It was wild in a good way. It was wild. It was fun. It was crazy. And the Roddenberrys, they had three special guests there. It was Bonnie Gordon, it was Robert Picardo, and Tim Russ. I also recorded some of their performances as well. I didn't take any pictures because I was too busy having fun, and so I apologize for that. But just no, but I won't be posting those videos either because again, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that. So, but I did enjoy myself, and the next time the Roddenberrys perform at any place closer to where I'm at or at a convention that I'm at, I will be going to that concert. And for those of you who have never been to a Roddenberry's concert, because this was my first time going, I recommend that you do go, and I guarantee you will have a lot of fun. I want to say like one of the best there were two songs that I loved the most. Um, it was their rendition of Dream On, but it was called Cling On, and Bonnie sung that one. And then the other one was their rendition of the song Kiss by Prince. Oh my God, like that was awesome just watching that performance with them and the go-go dancers. I mean, it was just fun. So again, if you ever hear about a Roddenberry's concert and it's close to where you live at, by all means, please go. So I returned home and went to sleep. And Sunday, day 3, last day of the con, I ended up going there. I got my photo op with Robert Picardo that day. And then I went to 2 panels that day. The first one was Understanding LGBTQIA plus history. I loved that panel. It was very informative, very educational. Um, uh, there wasn't a lot of people at that panel, so they turned it into a fireside chat. And just sitting there surrounded by all these different people coming from different places, from different cultures, different beliefs or whatever, just hearing their stories was very comforting for me. And it let me know that I'm not alone in this. Um, there are people who are going through this just as much as I'm going through it. Um, the other panel that I went to, I don't know the exact name, but it was dealing with, women in the entertainment industry. And I know Robin Curtis, I think her name is her name is Tia, I don't remember what her last name was. Also, Stephanie Jakowski was there. Terry Farrell was there. Bonnie Gordon was hosting it. I believe Gigi was there as well. I think I'm forgetting somebody else, but I'm not sure. But listening to those women talk about what it's like working in that industry and how they had to overcome, you know, the treatment that they were given and how, we should be treating the women better in the industry. It was very interesting listening to that panel, and I hope they bring a panel like that or similar to that effect uh, to Gaaays In Space. And also with the LGBTQIA plus history panel, I hope you all bring that back as well. And in addition to that, I hope that GIS can have a panel that also discusses LGBTQIA plus and people of color, because um, those two groups, you know, we black people of color, we are in the LGBTQIA plus community, and I feel like that is something that needs to be discussed because people of color, we're divided on that issue of LGBTQIA plus. We're divided on, like, should we be supporting them? Should we not be supporting them? How does this affect our culture? And I hope that GIS will have a panel discussing that. Um, Afterwards, I went to my last away mission, which was Be That Guy by Jacob Mundell. And and not only was it with Jacob Mundell, but also his friend Adam was there assisting him. So shout out to Adam. Um, this away mission discussed how to audition for an acting job, and he told me about this site called Actors Access, which actors use, where they upload their resume, their whatever their portfolio is, photos, tells you everything about them, and they use that to help them, pick different parts to audition for. And he said actors also use that to help because every actor has an agent and a manager, and your agent and your manager, they are out there looking for parts for you. But you, as the actor, you need to put your best foot forward, and you need to help them do that as well. So Actors Access is a way to help actors find parts for themselves on their own. One of the things that he told us that we should follow when you're choosing an auditioning job or an acting job, and not just for those two types of jobs, but for any job in particular, he said there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself. The first one is this going to be fun? The second one is this going to advance my career? And the third one is this going to make me a lot of money? If you can answer yes to 2 of those questions, then go ahead and take that job. No matter what type of job it is, go ahead and take it. And in my case, with the type of job that I have, my job is both fun and it does advance my career. No, it doesn't make me a ton of money, but those 2 things alone, having fun and advancing my career, that third one of not making money, eventually that is going to come right along with it. So, I work with adults with special needs, and before that, I was working with children with special needs at the education level. And so, like I said, both jobs did not pay a lot of money, but the fact that they were fun and rewarding, and they helped advance my career, that's why I took them. The money part doesn't bother me as much because eventually that's going to catch up. When you advance your career, the money follows you. When you have fun with your career, the money follows you. You don't have to worry about the money all the time. I mean, my job still keeps my head above water, keeps the bills paid, keeps me safe for a rainy day as well. So um, I love what it is that I do, and I have fun with what it is that I do. The other things that I learned from him was, how to set up um, your camera or your area so that you can audition. I learned that he said when you audition, you don't want to wear bright colors because it could distract from the casting directors um, from them paying attention to you because they're so busy focused on that bright shirt. So wear like a neutral color and make sure it's a plain shirt. There's nothing going on it because, again, you don't want them to be distracted. You want them to be focused directly on you. Also, make sure you have a plain background, not a background like this, because then they're going to be so busy focusing on my refrigerator and all this other stuff going on, or my coat hooks right here, focusing on that, and all the medicine up there. They're going to be focusing on all that they're not focusing on me. So you want to make sure you have a plain background. Um, he also said that when you're looking at the camera, make sure that you pick a certain side of the camera to look at. I hope I'm saying that right. You don't want to be doing this all the time throughout it because then, you're not focusing. They're going to think you're not focusing on them. So make sure, your eyes aren't wandering all over the place. Make sure you're looking at the camera. Also, make sure you pronounce your words correctly. Do several takes. He said at least 3 takes. Just do no more than 3 takes per audition, and then just send in the best one. So just like with the karaoke away mission, I benefited from Be That Guy away mission because it just taught me it just helped lower so much anxiety that I had about performing in front of people, about filming myself. And, I just took away a lot from Be That Guy. And a lot of the stuff that he taught me, I can, use in my area of expertise. And also it'll help me with my social media channel that I'm running as well. So if Jake Mundell comes back next year and he has Be That Guy, I do recommend that you all sign up for this away mission because you're going to learn something from it. I'm telling you, you will be able to take something from his away mission and be able to use it in your everyday life. And one of the things that I plan on doing is because what I took was actually a workshop. It was an actor's workshop that discussed how to audition. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to add that to my resume. I also recommend, for those of you who did Penny Johnson Gerald's acting workshop, I recommend that you all take that workshop and add it to your resume because it just makes your resume look better, and you never know how this will affect your career later on in life. It doesn't matter if you're an actor or not. If you attended Penny Johnson's one, which I didn't, add it to your resume. If you attended Be That Guy away mission, add it to there because those workshops are very informative and you learn a skill from both of those workshops. So again, I recommend that all of you do that. So afterwards, it was time for me to leave, and I really wanted to stay for like the goodbyes, but I wasn't able to because I had to travel all the way to the other side of the city to go pick up my luggage from a storage locker, and then eventually drive to the Philadelphia airport. But real quick about the Philadelphia airport, when I was there and I went to the airport and I checked in, I had to go to TSA security like we all do. You guys, when I say that line was really, really long, it was really, really long, and I was at the back. And it felt like I was at the back of the airport because that's just how long it was. And so, but I remained positive. I said, I'm going to make it to my plane in time. Don't worry about nothing. So I kept that energy going, but I was getting a little antsy because it's like, it's taking a little too long. But lo and behold, what helped me um, get over that um, that some of that little anxiousness that I was having, about 30 or 40 people ahead of me, I saw Ensign Harry Kim himself. I saw Garrett Wong in the TSA line, waiting just like the rest of us. I don't know why that made me feel better, but it just did. And I didn't out him in front of everybody. I just kept it to myself. So, and all I did was I just had a little smile, and it got rid of that little anxiety that I was having. It just made me feel so much better, and I was more perked up after that. So, like I said, I got through it, got on the plane, went home, went to sleep. Um, So before I end my video, I want to give a couple of shout outs to the people there that I met. I want to give a shout out to Chris, to Jimmy, and to Timmy, and to, I believe her name is Letitia, and to Connor, and to Chandler, and to their friend Joe, who I found out his name isn't Joe, his name is actually Chris, and also to Kiernan. And here's the thing, y'all, I have not, Kiernan, I met Kiernan at Shore Leave, and I was able to see her again at the at this con, and it was nice to see her again. And you know, we've been contacting through social media, but it was so nice to see her again. I also want to give a shout out to Emily. Emily, girl, I loved your dresses; they were awesome. Also, shout out to John T. I don't know how to say his last name, but John T probably knows who he is. Also to the two people who gave my buttons to Jen Maley and Robert Picardo. I appreciate that. Shout out to you guys. Also, I was very honored to be there when you guys took your epic photo op with Stephanie Chakowski and Jen Maley. That, oh my God, that was a fun photo op that you guys took. It was very, very hilarious to see and very fun to watch. Also, I met a couple by the name of Richard and his wife Julia. They took an epic photo as well in a elevator with Shannon Cochran, Robert O'Reilly, and J.G. Hertzler. And mind you, those three were dressed up in full Klingon makeup and costume. How epic was that to take a photo with them? And then there was another person who also took a photo similar to that as well in the elevator with those three. I mean, like, wow, those are some epic photos. And also, I want to give a shout out to the photography company, Epic Photo Ops. Y'all did a real good job keeping them lines going, keeping it running smoothly, taking people's pictures. You know, you guys made sure that we all looked real good in our photos. So I want to thank you all for that. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Epic Photo Ops, I think they know me by name right now, like, because like I did like 8 or 9 photo ops there. And yeah, they probably know me by name and know my face. They may not know if I were to ever see any of those guys again. They may not know by name, but they'll probably remember my face because I was there like 8 or 9 times. I don't think anybody else has been down there as many times as I was taking photo ops. So again, shout out to them and Alicia, I believe that is her name, that was in charge. Also, shout out to Gaaays In Spaaace, the organization itself. Shout out to you guys, your founder Dan Deavy. You guys did a spectacular job doing this convention. As Dan Deavy said several times, they thought you guys couldn't pull it off the second time. They thought you guys couldn't pull it off the first time, and then they thought you guys couldn't pull it off the second time, but y'all did. And I know y'all coming back next year to pull it off again for the third time. So thank you all for doing this convention and for making us all know that it's okay for us to be ourselves. We have the right to be ourselves. It just felt very welcoming being there. And I can't wait for the 3rd annual 2025 Galactic Diversity and Inclusion Convention, because I will be there, and not only will I be there, but my son's going to be there, my wife's going to be there, and all our friends are going to be there too. So it's going to be one big family reunion with all of us being there. And like I said, I can't wait for next year. So on that note, all I want to say to you guys is love yourselves, care for yourselves, love those who love and support you as well. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.